I haven't really got much energy this morning due to the constant beaming that's been going on since I woke up. But here we go anyway. Indeed, I've been thinking about Blaise Metravelli, the Director General of the British intelligence MI6 networks. Indeed, she is a Bilderberger and therefore an operative of NW7, which is the intelligence branch of the IG Farben conglomerate, which directly links into the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst Nazi intelligence continuum, the combination of various German occult orders, Templar orders, and the Society of Thule, including the Bavarian Illuminati networks. All these networks are incorporated as the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, and it seems that, as I suspected, Blaise Metravelli, through her status as an operative of NW7, is a Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst agent. Indeed, this makes sense considering her grandfather was Konstantin Dobrovolsky, who was a Ukrainian Nazi collaborator, a Banderist, and he was nicknamed the Butcher. So it's very interesting that someone with her credentials would end up as the Director General of the Secret Intelligence Service, i.e. MI6. It says a lot about the British intelligence services that they have this woman as their figurehead. Indeed, as I stated, she is an associate of the Bilderberg Group and attends Bilderberg Group meetings. And the Bilderberg Group is the intelligence branch inner sanctum of the IG Farben conglomerate's intelligence branch NW7, which is itself a direct tie-in with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks, which links us back to the German Templar orders that I've been discussing over the course of these videos. Indeed, it seems that much of the British intelligence services operatives are both British intelligence operatives and Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives. And indeed, after a certain level of security clearance, I believe that the British intelligence structure and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst are indistinguishable. I also believe it is a similar scenario with the Russian intelligence services. Indeed, after a certain security clearance, the Russian intelligence services are also indistinguishable from the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which means the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst are controlling the whole dialectic. And this upcoming conflict between the United Kingdom and the Russian Federation is being engineered by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst's agents within the British intelligence structure and the Russian intelligence structure, which is basically a continuation of the construct created by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst during the Cold War, which I have examined before. Indeed, the Stasi still exist. As I've stated before, intelligence services do not just suddenly disintegrate and disappear when regimes change. Indeed, the Stasi still exists, but it is an appendage of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, during the Cold War, the Stasi was coordinated by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks, which were integrated with the East German intelligence structure and the Soviet intelligence structure. And it seems that Vlad Putin himself is not only an operative of the FSB structure that he headed at one point, but also of the supranational KGB intelligence agency, which I've mentioned before regarding the Perestroika deception. He is also an operative of the GRU, Russian military intelligence, and he is also an operative of the Stasi, thereby the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. He also has many connections with British intelligence. So it's all very interesting, but Putin is merely a puppet and seems to be under a degree of electroshock to keep him compliant. And his role in this conflict is kind of as the West's boogeyman, and they are utilizing his behaviors to justify a conflict. But it's all part of a dialectical operation being coordinated by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which is the continuation of many German secret occult orders, including German Templar orders and such networks as the Order Templi Orientis, the Order of New Templars, the Society of Thule, and the Bavarian Illuminati. All of these networks come together as the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, and many of the operatives of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst are bloodline descendants of SS intelligence, SD intelligence, Gestapo, and Abwehr, German military intelligence networks that were operative for the Nazis during the Second World War. Many of the operatives today are bloodline descendants of these Second World War operatives, which is leading us to a very interesting conclusion. It's also interesting that we have a Banderist as the head of the British Secret Intelligence Service MI6 networks, considering the situation in Ukraine and the fact that Blaise Metrovelli is a Ukrainian Banderist descendant, and what with the British government basically propping up the Ukrainian forces as a modern mujahideen to weaken the Russian Federation the same way that they utilized the Afghan mujahideen in the 80s to weaken the Soviet Union. But it's very interesting considering the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation were also controlled by the same intelligence structure that controls the West. So it's all a very interesting situation. Indeed, I was also theorizing recently in my mind regarding the role of the Society of Jesuits in all this, and one has to consider the fact that the Society of Jesuits were a Templar continuum, and therefore part of the overarching Templar networks, which include the British Freemasons and the German Templar orders, and thereby such networks also as the Bavarian Illuminati. And indeed, there was a false conflict between the Bavarian Illuminati and the Society of Jesuits in the 1770s and 1780s, and history texts would like you to believe that the Bavarian Illuminati despised the Jesuits, but Adam Weishaupt, one of the figureheads of the Bavarian Illuminati, was himself Jesuit trained, and a lot of the structure of the Bavarian Illuminati networks were based on the Jesuit order. The Jesuits, although they would seem that they are a Roman Catholic monastic order, they are in fact an intelligence network, and they are part of the Templar continuum. Indeed, the conflicts between British intelligence and the Jesuits in the 15 and 1600s were in fact false flag operations, with both of these networks being Templar continuums, and these false flag operations merely serve to spark off conflicts such as the 30 Years' War in Germany for depopulation purposes. And this all was part of the agenda whereby the Jesuits were a thrust of the Templars to eventually take over the Roman Catholic Church Vatican structure, i.e. the structure of the secret police of the last days of the Roman Empire, reborn as a priesthood. Indeed, this has been successful now, and the Templar networks control the Vatican structure. Indeed, much of this eventual takeover was initiated by the Society of Jesuits through their infiltration of the Franciscan orders and the Masonic networks of the P2 Masonic Lodge. And the entity is now firmly in the grasp of the Templar orders. Indeed, the Society of Jesuits run large percentages of child trafficking operations overseen by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, the Jesuits are conduits for these child trafficking operations. They're also conduits for much practice of mind control techniques. The Jesuits have been notorious for mind control programming ever since their inception in the 1500s. Indeed, these networks are all interlinked and constitute a hydra that is basically choking Western society. And it's interesting also to consider that the Pope, it's interesting that the current Pope is from a family that were heavily connected to the Dulles family, the Prevost family, a Swiss intelligence family. And it's interesting to consider that the United Kingdom and the United States, the territory, i.e., the land, the real estate, is actually owned by the Pope. And when the Pope visits the United Kingdom and the United States, the Pope kisses the ground. Indeed, he is basically the mafia boss of these territories. These territories are his turf. However, due to the ongoing conflict between the Templars and the Roman Church, the Templars eventually had to engineer their own people into the papacy. So the figureheads at the top of the papacy are now Templar controlled mafia dons, effectively. And this connects to the fact that the territory of the United Kingdom is the Crown Corporation. Indeed, in the early 1200s, the territory of the United Kingdom was ceded by King John to the Pope due to a dispute between these two figures. And the territory of the United Kingdom, as the United States, indeed, the United States is all owned by the British Virginia Company, effectively. All of the territory is owned by the British Virginia Company. So it is effectively still British land and thereby the land of the Pope. So it makes sense that the Templars would spend so much time attempting to take control of the Vatican structure because of the fact that the most important territories of the Templars, i.e., Britain and the United States, are technically the territories of the Pope within corporate law. So it's all very interesting to consider these aspects. And the importance of the Vatican, really, to the global structure. Indeed, many satanic cults proliferate within the Roman Catholic Church structure, and these are engaged in ritual abuse and child trafficking and mind control operations and narcotics trafficking, the same as the kind of Nazi satanic cults that are so widespread in Europe and North America. Indeed, all of these satanic cults are interconnecting appendages of the intelligence structure. And with the Director General of MI6 being Blaise Metravelli, it states rather a lot about the structure of, for instance, British intelligence, the fact that she is the figurehead of the Secret Intelligence Service. Though she isn't in direct control, she answers to a man I have met, actually. I met him under the pseudonym Mark Hodge, but his real name is Robert Gascoigne Cecil, and he is the head of the Cecil dynasty, who have been the bloodline descendant coordinators of British intelligence since the 1500s. Indeed, the Cecil family really rose to power with the dissolution of the monasteries, and therefore are a key Templar continuum. Indeed, the Cecil family are high-ranking Knights Templar initiates, and Robert Gascoigne Cecil is the true overseer of the Secret Intelligence Service, the MI6 network structure. And he in turn is connected to the Pallavicini family, who are a very important network in the Vatican structure and are one of the spy master families of the Vatican. What's interesting about them is that they are of Iranian heritage originally, and indeed both the Shah Reza Pahlavi of Iran and Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini are descendants of the Pallavicini family. So it's interesting to consider that the regime change in Iran in 1978 was an orchestrated and choreographed occurrence, which has led to current aspects of the dialectic that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst wished to produce. Indeed, the Shah and the Ayatollah were actually cousins, but nobody talks about that. Indeed, it's all very interesting. This is Pallavicini family interconnected networks. And the Pallavicinis are one of the key spy master families of the Vatican structure and have controlling percentages within the entity, just as the Cecil family basically control the British intelligence services. So it's very interesting to see how all of this links up into the networks that are controlling the Western world today and also controlling the Russian Federation and the Middle East and Iran and China. So I haven't yet come to a full conclusion on the networks that are coordinating China. Indeed, it does seem that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks have a key controlling component of the Chinese Communist Party. And it's also interesting to consider the fact that many of the mind control techniques that were adopted by British and American intelligence services were learned from Chinese and North Korean mind scientists, indeed. Although much of the blueprint material for the mind control programs in Britain and America during the Cold War and continue up until today were conceived by Nazi mind scientists in the concentration camp and psychiatric combine locations during the Second World War. There were also elements learned from the Chinese and North Korean brainwashing scientists. And also the Soviet mind control experts were learning much of their trade from the Chinese and North Korean mind scientists, as well as from the Nazi blueprints for mind control mechanisms. Indeed, it's all really quite a scary concept. What does the intelligence cryptocracy have in mind for the population is really quite scary. But I guess we're going to see how this turns out. But I believe it may be too late, especially for the population of the United Kingdom. The population of the United Kingdom have been dumbed down so incredibly successfully by the British cryptocracy that nothing will wake them up. So it seems like the end game of the German psychiatrists who conceived this whole plan in the 1700s and 1800s is coming to fruition. And I expect we are going to see mass microchipping of target populations, including the paranoid schizophrenic population and the homeless. Indeed, many homeless are disappearing, and this is often for reasons of human slavery, organ trafficking, mind control programming, and medical testing. Indeed, there is a black market for this current, basically. So it also seems that Britain is being transformed into an outright criminal empire by the Illuminati networks that run the United Kingdom. And this is all part of the psychiatric endgame for the United Kingdom. Indeed, the Ordo ab Chao philosophy of the Illuminists and the Masons is coming to the fore. Indeed, I am going to leave it there now.